Yeah, I'm back on the farm again. I did go away for 3 nights. I went to a place called Grimshaw, an hour drive away, or 45 minutes or whatever. And Peace River. Went to a memorial. A childhood friend had passed away, so I went to her memorial, which was good. But the big thing is I'm waiting for some mail from Service Canada. I asked for it on August 2nd. Today's August 14th, 15th, 17th today. It's still not here. I want it to be here. What happened is I got, it's called GIS. It's Guaranteed Income Supplement here in Canada. It's a supplement for old age, a supplement to the OAS, which is old age security. No, old age. I think it's old age security, which is only a little bit of money. It's not a lot. It's less than $700 a month. So I applied for the GIS back in September when I first retired. And it took 7 months to get here. So on my second week of this trip, I actually got final confirmation that I got was that they would give it to me, which I knew I would. It was good. So I got a nice little check because it was retroactive. So I got my usual monthly check at the end of May and June. Then in July, I never got the check or the deposit in my bank account. So what the heck? And I realized that I had done my taxes for 2021. And because I only retired in September, had this income from January to September, so I wasn't qualified anymore. I made too much money. Barely. Just barely. So I'm cut off, so now I have to reapply. Oh, man. It better not take another 7 months to come in. They told me I can put urgent on it, and hopefully it'll be quicker. Anyway, I'm back here waiting for this mail to come in. But if it doesn't come in the next couple days, I'll probably head off to Grand Prairie, which is the nearest Service Canada office. And Grand Prairie is a 3-hour drive from here, which is why I didn't do it in the first place. Because I had to be here anyway for this memorial, so I thought I'd wait it out, but it hasn't come in yet. And the memorial was on this past Saturday. Okay. Waiting. But in the meantime, things have happened that I haven't recorded. It's because they've been so much in the now that I had to, or rather that I never thought to pull out my camera. So I'll show you some of the things I'll show you the aftermath of some of the things that went on. Oh my goodness. Number one is I had a mouse in the van. In fact, I had 3 or 4 mice in the van, different days. A couple of them might have been the same mice. Might have been some other same mice here on the farm. I trapped 2 of them. But I still have my trap set up down here. But I haven't actually had a mouse for like 4 or 5 days now. But it's still set there. But maybe I got them. But my van is a little bit of discombobulated because I still have the trap set and I have, well, I'll show you. But the other thing is I broke a window. Have a look. See? That is corrugated plastic. Here, I'm just setting you down. I'll tell you that story too. Oh my goodness. For starters, the mouse was showing itself by some nibblings on the package of some coconut milk powder. And that was my first clue, and that happened a couple of days, or 2 or 3 days before I actually saw a mouse. A few days after that nibble, and there was a few mouse turds, like 3 or 4, not much on my counter. And so that was a clue that, yeah, there was somebody visiting me. But it wasn't a few nights later, I heard scratch, 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 scratch. And I looked out of my bed, and I saw this mouse skitter away. It was up where it was on this ledge, on this ledge, and that's where I keep my coconut powder. Well, at the milk powder. At the moment, I have it in a container because I didn't want him to be wrecking another package. So after that, actually, oh my gosh, that night I tried to, because it was in this box, it was just in this box, I actually caught it about 3 o'clock in the morning or something. I managed to put a cover on it, and I took it outside about 40 feet out the window there, out here, where is it, and set it way out on the grass. I'd never had a trap at that point. And so I went back to bed, and, 10 minutes later, scratch, 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 nibble, nibble, nibble. He was up there again. Oh my gosh. And I put him out the second time that same night. This is probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. Sheesh. I hadn't gone to sleep yet. I only got to sleep that night probably about 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It was just crazy. But anyway, as soon as light came on, the mice kind of went by their wayside, right? So no more mice in the daylight. So the next morning, I borrowed a mouse trap from the farmhouse, and I set it up in this box. It's loose right now because I've been taking it off and on so much. I still have to secure it down before I put the stuff in it, which is all my spices and salt and peppers and stuff like that. That's at the moment hanging out on my counter. Where was I in that story? Right, I got a mouse trap from the house, set it up in the box. At that point, I put some cheese on it and some coconut milk powder. So that evening, the mouse came back, scratch, 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 and I looked at it. He stole the cheese, but the trap did not go off. So I had to rethink how I did that. So I basically put the trap back in that little box, and actually I'll show it to you in a minute. Put the trap back in that box, but I repositioned it so that he had to go onto the actual thing. I know this is gross, people, I'm sorry, but mouse in the van have to do something. So I repositioned the mouse trap, and of course I got him the next time without cheese, just coconut oil. Mice love coconut milk powder. They love it, because I caught my second mouse the same way. I won't go on and on about that anymore, but I did catch 2 mice. I have something more to say about that second mouse, but actually I'll tell you. It was caught in the trap in a kind of a awkward way, but it obviously wasn't dead because I took it out about midnight or something to let it go, to get rid of it. And the mouse wasn't dead. It jumped up and ran away, and I jumped up and almost ran away myself. But that's my 2 mice. But ever since that last time, I haven't had a mouse back again. But the trap's been set just in case, but I have to fix it up soon. Here is, and I've been driving and driving, and the trap is still set. I don't know if you can notice that, but it is set. It could potentially catch a mouse. But it hasn't. So I'll have to put all this back together again, put all my pieces in there, all these bits and pieces that have actually been traveling with me inside here. My niece, Susan, buys old jewelry, earrings and whatnot, and remakes them. So I thought, oh, wait a minute, that's something I would love to do, to make my dangly things, because I've got all kinds of dangly things up here. Where are they? All these things, basically my sister made, but they've been falling apart, and I've been adding things to them and doing some different things, making dangly things. And my sister had made this one for me, but it's come apart in different ways, so I've added stuff to it over time. There's another one. But I thought, wait a minute, with a couple of proper tools, I could do something like that. I think I'd have fun. Anyway, I got kind of pulled away from my storyline here. My broken window. One window, second window. Oh, my land. Okay, I'll go back on that story too. Let's see what's happening. Oh, I didn't actually put it on. I normally have mosquito netting on these windows so I can leave them open at nighttime. I didn't do it last night. But on this window, this is my passenger window, I had a net on it and put on with magnets all the way around. But this particular time, it was a hot day, and I left the window wide open, the screen on with the magnets. And this window I had left open as I was driving down the road, like this. And somehow, between that window, a magnet let loose, so everything went all haywire. There was a magnet let loose, the screen came down, the mosquito netting is what I'm trying to say, came down. Unfortunately, it did not blow away, but one of the magnets somehow found its way from there to the outside of this when it was a window, and it just smashed, just completely shattered as I was driving down the road. Oh, my land, now what am I going to do? How do I replace that? So I had all kinds of ideas, but at one point I went into town. Somehow my brother, okay, wait a minute, oh, there we go. Somehow one of my brothers learned about it through a phone call. And his wife, Gloria, said, well, come on by. Bernard will figure it out. He'll fix it for you. And lo and behold, he did. He had the corrugated plastic, and fortunately I had kept the frame around that the glass had come out of. There was still a little bit of bits of glass in the frame, so he had to work at getting the glass out. And he came up with this wonderful solution. Yeah, it's working. It does. It's looser. Like this window is really tight. It doesn't move. Whereas this one does move. And it does flop a little bit when I'm driving at highway speeds. A little bit dependent on the wind direction. Of course, I do not leave it open. That would be probably disastrous. But it works. So I will have to look for at a wrecker's probably when I get back to Vancouver Island for another window, or pay for a window. We'll see. But I do want my glass back. I use that window visually when I'm driving. And of course, this is my seat. So I'm sitting here eating my breakfast or whatever it is. And that's my visual outside, which isn't there now. It's nice and bright, but no visual. Actually, my biggest concern at the time was the safety feature, because that's my locking, wait a minute, that's my locking door. But this is good. It'll get me through until I can replace the window. So those are a couple of things that have been going on these last couple of weeks. I apologize. I haven't picked up my camera very much. Those would have been fabulous all to record, but at 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm not thinking of pulling out my camera when I got a mouse in my van, or if I'm driving down the road, down the highway, and my window smashes out. I didn't think to pick up my camera. But anyway, it all works out, doesn't it? Somehow it works out. And being here in Manning, and very, very extremely resourceful farmer, all their life farmer brothers have had to be resourceful in every direction you can think of on the farm. They just come up with solutions, right? So it's been fabulous. Now, on with my day. As you can see, I just got up, got inspired to do some recording, and inspired to do recording, but not inspired to get my hair ready for the day. See you next time. Bye.